The New York State Council of Special Education Administrators has established the Friend of Special Education Award to recognize an individual who has advocated for the needs of students with disabilities and their families by influencing the development of policy or legislation. The 2015 CNYSEA Friend of Special Education Award recipient is Harry Phillips III, Regent Emeritus of the New York State Board of Regents. Harry Phillips III graduated from Harvard with honors and received a master's degree in financial services from the American College. He was appointed by New York State Legislature to the New York State Board of Regents, on which he served 3 5-year terms representing the Lower Hudson Valley from 2000 to 2015. Harry was board chair of Westchester Community College for many years. Regent Emeritus Phillips is a World War II veteran. He was founder of H&R Phillips Incorporated, a general brokerage agency, the Management Compensation Group, a benefits and consulting firm, Stein & Day, a book publisher, Datamark, a manufacturer of high-speed printers, and served as president of Geothermal Electrical Corporation. He authored the textbook Advanced Employee Benefit Planning and wrote an industry newsletter for 40 years. Leader magazine named Harry as one of the 25 most outstanding life underwriters for the decades of the 70s, 80s, and again in the decade of the 90s. Regent Emeritus Phillips and his wife Marjorie have 3 grown children, 8 grandchildren, and 3 great-grandchildren. Regent Emeritus Phillips has been active in civic and charitable organizations in New York City and in Hartsdale, New York, where he resides. He is a board member of WISE Services Incorporated, which provides structured but independent study program for the senior semester of high school. And he's a board member of the Westchester Community College Foundation. He was a past president of his local PTA and a founder and past president of Woodland High School Scholarship Fund. During his tenure on the Board of Regents, he was a steadfast advocate for students with disabilities. Always mindful of how a policy change would impact vulnerable populations, he sought appropriate options that would provide a safety net for students with disabilities. His deep understanding of special education was based upon a thorough study of the issues, and more important, his first-hand knowledge of actual students. Regent Phillips is known to visit programs to directly interact with students and school personnel. His accessibility and approachability has been a mark of distinction in his service on the Board of Regents. Regent Phillips was influential on the topic of testing students with disabilities at their instructional level for state assessments. His advocacy resulted in the inclusion of this proposal in the ESA waiver submissions. During public debate on this topic, many expressed how unpopular the proposal would be on the federal level. Regent Phillips, who is never afraid to be the lone voice, asserted, quote, "Sometimes an act of civil disobedience is required to make change." His sense of personal passion on issues moved other members of the Board of Regents. Despite continued resistance at the federal level, CNYSEA is inspired by Regent Phillips's leadership on this topic, and we remain committed to continued advocacy for testing some students with disabilities on their instructional level. Regent Emeritus Phillips is a true diplomat, widely respected in the educational community. Doug Bailey, retired SED Coordinator of Policy and Intergovernmental Relations for the former VESID, gives this testament, quote, "Regent Phillips is a thorough and independent thinker. He would evaluate issues and choose the course he believed that was best for kids, even if the position was not popular. He was not swayed by interest groups. He was always about doing the right thing for the students simply because he believed it was the right thing to do." When James D. Lorenzo, Assistant Commissioner of the Office of Special Education of the New York State Education Department, learned that Regent Phillips has been named as the 2015 Friend of Special Education, he sent this commendation, quote, "Congratulations to Regent Phillips on his award from CNYSEA. He is greatly missed on the Board of Regents. He cares deeply for children and their families, and his dedication to students with disabilities is unwavering." Regent Phillips was diligent and passionate in his support and advocacy on issues and policies that affected the lives of children with disabilities, a true champion. Please join me in congratulating Regent Emeritus Perry Phillips as he comes forward to receive this award.
CNYSEA 2015 Friend of Special Education Award presented to Regent Emeritus Harry Phillips III. Quote, "All of us do not have equal talents, but all of us should have an equal opportunity to develop our talents." John F. Kennedy.
Thank you so much. I am honored. I come by my admiration for what you do honestly. I have a son who for 40 years has been a special education teacher. I have a daughter who's a principal who got a Superstar Teacher Award for the inclusion program early on. What I regret most is my inability to convince my colleagues that what you do needs to be respected more and be translated into our rules and regulations. I was a lone voice on many things. I was the sole supporter of keeping the local diploma, and I wish we had. I think that the new board, Judy Johnson replacing me, will be wonderful. That together they may be able to get a majority to do the kind of things that you and I believe in. But thank you so much for all you do and for